As Veterans Day and Military Family Month approach, new programs are helping veterans access support. I mean, we're talking about from legal aid and mental health services to housing and resources for military spouses and caregivers. And now on the program, we have former Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, JoAnne S. Bass, the first woman to become the highest senior enlisted leader in any military service. She is calling on all of us to recognize those strengths and to help every service member, veteran, and military family thrive. Chief Bass, thank you for your time this morning.
Nick, thanks so much for having me, and thanks for honoring our veterans and their families on this very special month.
Yeah, no problem. Chief Bass, can you talk about some of those key strengths and talents that those serving in the military have?
Absolutely. So one, there's too many to go around, but if I can offer just a few, I would share strong work ethic, adaptability, problem solving, and our veterans are some of the most resourceful and resilient people you'll ever meet, but not just our veterans, their families as well.
What inspired you to become an advocate for veterans? Because that is speaking with veterans over the years, that's a tough transition back to civilian life. What inspired you to be an advocate?
Absolutely. Well, first off, I had the honor and privilege to serve in the United States Air Force for over 30 years. And so in that time, I was able to spend time with our service members and really get to understand, the challenges that we have. And when you take off the uniform, you don't ever quit serving, right? You just figure out different ways to serve. And so while in the military as a Chief Master in the Air Force, I was primarily focused on our military mission of protecting our nation. I was primarily focused also on the people behind the mission and their families and making sure that the conditions were set that they can do anything asked that our nation might need them to do. And so to that end, now I'm focused on things such as connecting with our veterans, making sure that we are providing the opportunities that we can and that we are caring for our veterans. So many organizations are very much focused on this. In fact, I'm here with PMI US, who's one of those organizations. They created a really thoughtful white paper called Serving Those Who Serve, and it's in that capacity of connection and opportunities and care that we're very focused on doing what we can to ensure that our military community stays strong.
Can you talk about some of your top priorities with this mission?
Absolutely. Some of those priorities are, as I mentioned, connecting and providing opportunities and caring. And some of that is with respect to employment opportunities, the care that we can provide them for health care as well as mental health care, and also encouraging our veterans, encouraging our communities to really connect with a veteran or a family member and understand their unique journey and how can they be part of bringing them into their communities.
You've been so generous with your time. Before I let you go, I do want to highlight again, you are the first woman, as you know, the first woman to become the highest senior enlisted leader in any military service. Can you just talk about your background? Because I'm looking at your resume right now, and it is a lot in a great way. Can you talk about your background?
Nick, it all started off because my dad always said 4 years in the military never hurt anybody, and he was right. And every year that I served in the military, it gave me so very much, and it shaped the person that I am. But if I can leave your audience with just a couple things, one of the things that I would say is that when we include our veterans and their families into our workforces and into our communities, it is a win for all. They are going to bring talents and strengths and leadership to bear. And when you have a strong veteran community, you absolutely have a stronger and better America. If folks want to know more about this, I would encourage them to check out that white paper that I talked about. Again, Serving Those Who Serve. They can catch it at uspmi.com. And that's just one of the very many resources that are out there to connect and to provide opportunities and to care for our strong veteran community.
One final question, I promise is my final question. What can we do as a community? Because it's not just one organization that can do it, one person that can do it, but it's a community effort. How can us as a community support?
Nick, thanks for asking that. I talk about it all the time, right? It's going to take a whole of nation, whole of society approach. Not one organization can do it. In fact, we have thousands of veteran support organizations out there. I would say that when you combine government, businesses, nonprofits, corporate America, our communities, and we all realize that we all have a role to play in helping to ensure that we have a strong veteran community, active duty, guard, reserve, spouse, children, community, the better off we'll be. So check, connect and talk to your veterans and find out what are the needs, but more importantly, realize the talents and the strengths that they're going to bring to every single organization and community.
Chief JoAnne S, thank you so much for your time, and don't be a stranger. You're welcome back here on Live Impact News.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks for your support to our veterans.
All right, thank you.